Blog Talk Radio.
I'm not usually this shy, but my apologies for acting rude, for acting shy. I'm usually collected, but with you I can't see why I act stupid. So stupid. I'm gonna let this beat sing to you, cause I can't be straight when I'm with you. So I'm gonna let this beat sing till I hear my phone ring. Till you scream at my name, drunk in love, I'll run away. Baby, you know you're the truth. No lie, no lie, no lie, no lie. I'm letting this beat sing tonight. No lie, no lie, no lie. 'Cause boy, you're the truth and this beat won't lie. This beat won't lie. This beat won't lie. So if you want me, I'll be sitting by the corner, inhaling marijuana. You know I stay living. I'ma let this beat sing to you, cause I can't be straight when I'm with you. I'ma let this beat sing to you. I'ma let this beat sing to you, cause I can't be straight when I'm with you. So I'ma let this beat sing till I hear my phone ring. Till you scream at my name, drunk in love, I'll run away. I can't find the words. I just wanna give you what you deserve. And when I'm by your side, you make me feel. You make me feel high. Baby, you know you're the truth. You know I'm straight up IJA. Got people thinking I'm a cell phone. Them boys all in my name. But with you, it's different. And the words never come to mind. Since I can't keep it real in the convo, I'ma spit it to you in a rhyme. I'ma let the bass sing to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you.
Yes, that was Yashay with Let This Beat Sing. If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Endie Fiya for another episode of Endie Fiya, with your host, Keair. Make sure that you're streaming, you're downloading, you're purchasing Love Oasis. It released last month on the 15th of February. That's Yashay's debut project. Yashay's our Jamaican hip-hop princess, R&B, pop, hip-hop, princess, as I stated, out of Jamaica. So make sure you're downloading, you're streaming, and, of course, purchasing Love Oasis. You won't find that track off of that project, but you'll find some more that you're going to definitely like. I was trying to find something to talk about this evening because I hadn't heard anymore. You know, we've been following very closely the case about 9-year-old little girl that was found in the duffel bag, Trinity Jones. But I hadn't heard anymore about that. You know, we talked Tuesday about, the mother being possibly arrested, but I hadn't heard anymore. So I did find something interesting, and I also got the opportunity to participate in this madness. How many of you have seen or were sent a message to put in Florida man and add your birthday? So say like my birthday is January 15th. So you would say Florida man. You would Google Florida man January 15th. Any of you seen this on Facebook? If not, go ahead and try it and see what pops up. All right? So it's a challenge that's going around, And there's apparently there's a little bit of Florida man in all of us. Florida's known for a lot of wild events going on, and Florida man, in your birthday, you'll be able to pull up some of those wild events that occurred on your birthday specifically. All right, so say for instance, your birthday is January 29th. All right, so what happened on January 29th, 2019? Florida man thought he was stealing opioids, but instead got laxatives. All right, so say your birthday was August 14th, 2017. Florida man wrecks liquor store and blames it on the caterpillar. Say your birthday was on November 7th, 2018. The Florida man accused of breaking into alligator farm and is attacked by a crocodile. He leaves Croc shoe behind. Yeah. All right, so mine, January 15th, was a Florida man attacks neighbor with a machete named Kindness. I don't know where these stories came from. I don't know how these challenges originate, especially this challenge right here. But it's the latest, and people have jumped on it, and they're going. I've seen some really, really wild things that Florida man has done. What happens if you're a Florida woman? I don't know. Maybe somebody should do that. Somebody go type in really quickly Florida woman and your birthday and see what happens. They'll probably come with the same shit, right? Probably, yeah. I don't know. We're getting close to spring, right? Isn't spring this week? Or is today the first day of spring? I don't know. I can't keep up with anything. I know we're getting close to it. I'm trying to grab a calendar. Yesterday, yes. So yesterday began spring, right? And I knew it was like sometime this week. Yesterday began spring, but how many of you have noticed it's still cold, right? So my son was saying the other day, he was like, but I thought groundhog saw his shadow, or he didn't see his shadow, or he did. Whichever he did, it was supposed to produce the early spring, right? But that didn't occur. So what does that mean for the groundhog? How accurate is his predictions now? Because we did not get the early spring. We got some warm days, but where I'm from, where I live, we got some warm days, but we got a lot of cold days as well. And we still, across the nation, were receiving snowstorms and snow flurries, in March. And just, so what happens when the groundhog makes his prediction and they're inaccurate? What does that do? Do we still believe in the groundhog? Or does it really help us? Who believes in the groundhog? Who believes in the groundhog? I talked to my cousin today who just came from, he's in the military, and he's now in Cali. And he's in a really, really funny part. He's actually in Barstow, California. But his house is in some place called, like, Victorville. I said it sounds like something out of a Dr. Seuss book, like Whoville. But he was saying how cold it was. And you really don't think of California being cold, But he was like, it was really cold in Cali today. And I thought, wow, thought about that groundhog again. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks if we are now in spring, if we are going to still have cold weather and wear the jackets, or if we will start seeing people bring out shorts. And, interesting enough, we saw a lot of shorts last weekend. We did a lot of campus tours last weekend, and we saw really, really short shorts on the students with sweatshirts, and on one day, and then the very next day they had to bundle up because it went from like 70 to like 40 the next day. So just be mindful until it's completely warm. You can't even say just according to the season anymore. Just, make sure that you're bundled up and dressed appropriately for the weather so that you're not getting sick. All right? On the show today, all of my guests are special. I'll say that. All of my guests are special because somebody will come back to me and be like, you call her special, but I wasn't. But, yes, we have a very special guest on the show. It's not often that I get to interact with the guests on a daily basis. And I will say that I have some type of interaction with this young lady on a daily basis on social media. And I like that, the fact that I do get to interact with our guests on on social media, I get to peek into their lives, just a little bit, not only as an artist, but as, an individual. So I'm talking about R&B and hip-hop artist and the first lady of the QC. Now, I know some people ask me, like, what is the QC? You talking about, like, QC, the label, like, like quality control? I had to just let them just think that one through, Listen to her bio, you know what I'm talking about, all right? Born in North Carolina and raised in the Queen City, Lady Keair comes from a long line of entertainers. At the age of 8, she began writing music with family and performing in a pop girls group. As a teenager, she became a solo artist and started doing features and hooks for rappers throughout the QC. Rap became a part of her lifestyle as she perfected her flow from a poet to a lyricist. She has been inspired by the likes of Mary J. Blige, India.Arie, MC Lyte, Lauryn Hill, and many more. Lady Keair considers herself a universal artist, but she loves politics and activism, which are profound in her music and lifestyle. She represents the Carolinas in a classy way. Don't sleep. Endie Fiya listening audience and fans, I present to you my guest this evening, Lady Keair.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
I am so glad to have you on this evening. So I want to jump right into to my questions, and I want to start by asking you, how did you come up with the name Lady Keair?
Well, actually, it's kind of, it's not that hard. Really, my middle name is Keair, but the lady part, the lady part actually came. God, and it's so sad to say it, but I can't remember her name, but everybody remembers her paraphrase, the comedian that used to always go around and be like, I'm such a lady. I kind of took, that from her because I consider myself to kind of be a classy rapper, being that I do come from a R&B background. I don't really consider myself to be the hood type or the ratchet type, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. So, a lady is a good description for me because I consider myself like the first lady of the Queen City. So, Lady Keair, that's pretty much what I came up with, and it kind of stuck, and, people know me by that or either Lady K, and some people know me by Lady K 704. It just depends on who you're talking to.
Gotcha. 704 is the area code in the QC. I do know that. So,
yes, ma'am.
Now, the bio states that you began writing music with your family at age 8.
Yeah. I actually come from a long line of musicians and entertainers. My grandparents, cousins, uncles, people play all kind of instruments, write music, sing, act, different things like that. And, my grandmother used to travel back in her heyday, and she's actually passed, my mother's mother, but she used to travel back in her day doing background vocals for a lot of singers back in the day. My uncle used to write music during the time before Marvin Gaye blew. Him and Marvin Gaye were kind of like running neck and neck with each other, but some things went left with my uncle, and Marvin Gaye blew. So I kind of come from a long line of entertainers that have some serious musical background. So it kind of has always been in my blood, whether it was from church or, in the choir or just, going out and doing our own thing and, spreading our love of music around.
And that was my next question, because I find that so many female artists, whether they have the musical background in the family, they have some type of ties or roots to the church. And so they find that their beginnings did come from, the church. How hard was it for you as a child to begin in the church, and then I see that you formed or were in a pop girls group? Was it hard for you to transition?
Yes, and we're strongly opinionated about us using our, voices for Christ, of course, because they're Christians predominantly here in the South. But they understood the path we were on because they all had their own journey with it, and dealt in, secular music as well. So it was kind of understood. And the girls group, the pop girls group, ironically, that was me and two of my cousins. And we actually went by the name of TLC before TLC came out. Yeah, it was crazy when they came out because we was like, oh my God, they stole our name. But actually, the acronym for us was Tender Loving Care. So because we were young, we were like kids.
Okay.
So
yeah. So what's the first song that I know your first name starts with an L, so I thought maybe that's what the L was for. I thought you all took a letter out of your names like they did. What's the first song that you all had?
Song we all had, oh my God, was called Black with Attitude. And it had a catchy little jingle to it. It was cute, of course, because we were young, and it was, I guess, our version of being black and proud, and we did a couple of things. We did some different little shows around the city back then. There used to be a TV show on cable back in the day here in North Carolina called The Connie McGill Show. And we actually, aired on there as well. So we kind of made our runs and did a few things as we got older. But, they kind of came out of the music thing, and I was one of the only ones that kind of stayed the course in music.
So I want to hear just a little bit of that Black with Attitude.
Oh, God. You going to make me go all the way back to Okay, well, I'll give you the basis of the hook, because Lord knows I'll be honest, I can't even remember the verses, so to speak. But the hook itself just kind of went, it was simple. Black with attitude, oh, black with attitude, oh. So that was kind of the hook. We did a lot of little harmonizing, and like I said, there was different verses. Each one of us had our own little bridge, or I don't think we actually had 16 bars back then. Probably more like 8 a piece then. Yeah, it was probably more like 8 bars back then. But, we were in there, and it was cute, and everybody definitely, pushed us to go further and whatnot. And it taught me a lot about the different dynamics of music and working with others, because even when you're working with family, that can be hard, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
And going from that, we just had, we became Two Unlimited after that, which was another group, and we got with a manager here in the city that my mother had found for us, and she kind of helped us work on more of our vocalization and things like that. But shortly after that, that's when we all kind of went our own ways.
Okay. How would you describe your musical style?
I would definitely say I definitely fall right in between R&B and hip-hop. I do enjoy doing other styles, such as blues music, and definitely I like kind of falling into the genre with India.Arie, Erykah Badu, that I guess more melodic type music, more soulful type music. I do enjoy those things when I sing, but lately, as I got older, I kind of came away a little bit more from so much of the singing, because I kind of enjoy dealing with words a lot, because I am a writer first. So that's why rap kind of took over a little bit as I got older, because I don't know, I guess it seems like being a lyricist kind of helps you to express yourself a little bit more. You can say a lot more. Yeah. So I definitely fall right in with hip hop and R&B, but right now I guess I'm kind of more of a hip hop artist. But I still sing my hooks. I still will sing in my songs, which is why I kind of get a blended version. I'm a big fan of Lauryn Hill, so I try to definitely, mix it in because she was able to use all her skills and provide a great message.
Yeah. Yeah. And I read that you love politics and activism. Do you follow the Muslim artist Nilam?
Actually, I do, and I am a fan of hers. I've actually recently came across her music, like in the past few months. So she is kind of new to me, but I loved her from the first moment I, heard any of her music, especially her dedication to Black men.
Yeah.
There's just she's really inspiring. And I do love conscious music, and I always try to provide a conscious message. But she's she's all the way in there, her shit, she's all about messages. So I definitely love listening to her. It gives you something new versus what we hear on the radio right now. Everybody's pretty much talking about the same stuff, and she definitely gives you something new to think about when you listen to her music.
And mentioning what you hear on the radio now in all aspects, whether it is R&B, whether it is rap, whether it is hip hop, what do you think of the current state of the game?
Be honest, I kind of go back and forth. I'm not going to say there isn't any songs that, I like, or any artist that I'm not going to say I don't like anybody, but I will say I'm not really a fan of music on the radio. You hear a catchy song, you hear a good beat, and yeah, you can dance to it and, have a good time or whatever if that's all you're looking for. But there's not really much thought that goes into music nowadays. I'm kind of finding when you begin to break down a lot of the artists' lyrics and things like that, a lot of times they're talking about things that either don't make any sense together or are in itself kind of degrading or very dismissing of things that are important in today's world. And from the generation of hip-hop I come from, that's what hip-hop was about. It was all about the message. And today they just don't seem to really have a message besides partying, sex, cars, and fashion, the drip, as they say now. Everything's about dripping and flossing.
Right. So do you think that the biggest, I won't even ask it that way. What do you feel the biggest misconception that people have about your genre of music is?
I think they think that everybody's all the same. I think that at the end of the day, a lot of great artists who are still out don't really get the respect that they deserve because so many people are caught up in what's popular with music right now. So, a lot of us kind of fall to the waistline, and it's a lot harder to gain that either proper fan base or be able to generate the proper amount of numbers you may need for your music because, people are pretty much looking for that popular sound at all times. Right. They're looking for the trend, and me, myself, even though I try to give people some of what they want as well, like I said, I try to throw messages in my music so while you're having a good time or you like the hook, at the same time you can gain something from it. But, not everybody is looking for that. A lot of people are just looking, for something that's going to make them dance or something that's going to boost their ego and make them feel good because they have money in their pocket or, things like that, the ego push. I'm not really big on the ego push with my music, so it's kind of hard sometimes for artists like myself, and that's why conscious music has, a lot of the major artists like Common or Nas, and even though we know these people are great lyricists and have some of the best music out here when you sit down and take the time to listen to it, but even they can't get the proper notoriety nowadays because the style of music is just no longer really wanted.
And that would have been the second part of that question. Do you find yourself writing about the issues that people misconceive, or do you find yourself, playing into exactly what they want you to write about? You've already answered that question. Do you write about everyday life situations, things that you've been through?
Definitely things that I've been through, or things that I know that a lot of people can relate to that have probably experienced similar things, especially as a young black woman in America. And again, coming from a time period where, being a dark-skinned black woman wasn't exactly the most in thing, so
right.
It took many years, to find the confidence to be able to speak proudly and to be able to talk about certain emotions without, looking down on myself, because at the end of the day, there's so many people that experience, low self-esteem, that go through many different issues in relationships, whether it be with family or with your partners. And a lot of those things oftentimes stem from, our personal experiences, how we handle that stuff. So I try to make sure in my music I give a level of the past, but because now I'm in a more confident state, I believe in who I am, I feel good about who I am, it makes it easier now to deliver that more positive message of being able to live in the now, which is what I definitely try to make sure I express, how to love you, because, nobody's going to love us like we love ourselves. But I definitely love loving other people as well. So, I try to provide messages of love and understanding, definitely of enlightenment, something that can take people and help them vibrate a little higher.
I want to talk about, and mentioning that, I want to talk about Back to Consciousness, your track. I'll talk about that just a little bit.
Well, Back to Consciousness actually stemmed, it came from me and my homegirl. We actually had an online radio station, which I probably will end up rebooting soon enough, but and it's called Back to Consciousness, and the purpose of that network radio station was to be able to provide enlightenment, spiritual guidance, as well as be able to give conscious artists platform where their music can be appreciated. So that song kind of started off being a song to represent that network, but it actually turned into more of representation of an era that we're living in right now, because it's a time period when people are coming back to consciousness and more knowledge of self is being accepted and spread around, in the black communities. And there's a lot more, even though people don't see it as much, and some people may not believe it, but there is a lot more unity being gained amongst us. Sometimes you have to go out and find those people who are like-minded so you can see it. And that song is really about gathering those people or being in places where you can get that and come back to consciousness, because that's what we're doing right now. We're coming back to knowing who we are and being able to appreciate who we are as a people and individuals.
I like that. So I want to give you right now Back to Consciousness by Lady Keair, right here on Endie Fiya.
All right.
Well, it's Lady back again, and we're coming back to consciousness. I'm in my lane, and I'm gonna make it pop again. Swerving all the drama, open minds like a prophet is. Third eye open, let the classes begin. I'm a real goddess, I hold court. A real goddess, I life source. Making history the right source. I retrospect my life course. I'm insane, I'm getting money. Being rain, they take it from me. Being claimed the throne. Me and my family made this home. Tell me what's your truth. Who you with and who is you? Do you even have a clue? I'm a rider, you the coupe. We gon' swerve through the city. Swag on uplifted. Two trucks, we tipped it. we stay lit, we flip it. Gods and earth in the building. Kings and queens, can you feel me? Unite in full force, ain't no way to stop them. Stay the course, spit the truth, they know we got it. We are, we're coming, massive consciousness. We are. Oh yeah. Open up your eyes, it's a brand new day. Thinking caps on, then you hit the replay. Social media storm, it keeps your brain in clouds. Social media form, they keep the people loud. Promoting mass destruction, that's what she said. Promoting self-destruction, that's how they fed. They wanna see us living life like the living dead. They wanna see us in life, so they live instead. When you hide from the truth, it's like you're living lonely. I hit the booth just so you can take a look a moment at this life and see how much you really want it. This life just looks, they keep the people haunted. When you hide from the truth, it's like you're living lonely. I hit the booth just so you can take a look a moment at this life and see how much you really want it. This life just looks, they keep the people haunted. We are. We're coming, massive consciousness. We are. Oh yeah.
Yes, that was Back to Consciousness by Lady Keair. If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Endie Fiya with your host, Keair, and special guest, Lady Keair. Now, typically, I do not listen to the music that's going to be played on the show. I will promote something else that you put out in the past, like we're promoting Come Through right now. By the way, I love that track. So I don't hear the music that's going to be played. Like Monica hears the music, but I don't hear it. So I'm really looking forward to the following two tracks because I really, really, really like that one right there.
Well, that's what's up. I'm glad you like it.
I want to back up just a minute because I feel it's important when I have females on the show that we discuss. Sorry, I had to mute a call. That we discuss the industry as a whole and how females are portrayed in the industry and how they put themselves on display within the industry. And I know that you know Billie Lee, correct?
Know who?
Billie Lee.
Oh, yeah, I know Billie Lee.
All right, so when I had her on the show, earlier part of last year maybe, she touched upon some things, the platform that she stands upon, some things that she went through, prior to getting into the industry, some battles that she herself had to face, some things that she had to come to terms with before she herself could just blossom into the artist that she is right now. And I feel that that is important, that we as women just stand together. All the disputes that Cardi and Nicki, had, or, Lil' Kim siding with one individual versus another, I just feel like camaraderie amongst women in the industry is so important. Just because we, the little boys look up to the men or whatever, but I feel that the little girls that we are aspiring look up to us in a different way, because we are the bearers. We're the bearers of life, and we bring so much more to this industry. I feel not just from the music we put out, but because we do bring forth life. I feel like we just are able to give more to this industry in many different ways, and I just feel like we should always be on one accord. Like, how it was back in the 90s when, UNITY came out. That's how I feel like everybody should be on that level right now. So is there a particular platform that you, and I kind of gather what it is, but if you want to speak on that, just a tad bit, a particular platform that you represent or that you push within this industry that helps young women or even young men to be able to better themselves. They may listen to this interview and be like, yeah, she spoke knowledgeable on this right here. It's going to help me to be able to get to this level right here. What is your particular platform?
Well, there's kind of two ways that I definitely look to encourage people, whether male or female, but definitely my sisters. Like I said, Back to Consciousness was definitely all about empowerment and unity with the radio station. But the main thing that's kind of been a big focus for me this year, me and my best friend that I go back over 20 years with, we started our own nonprofit called Lady Love Yourself. And basically what we wanted to do with that platform was to not only be able to encourage and empower African-American women, all women in general, but we wanted to specifically target us because, Black women are definitely one of the most beaten down, set of women in the world. If you have dark hue, it just seems like a hard knock life for us, no matter where we are in the world. So with Lady Love Yourself, it allowed me and her to be able to encourage others, to be able to surround ourselves with other women who are about unity, who do enjoy doing things with other female counterparts, whether that be outside activities, because we do have some things that we try to do with the groups of people that are part of our following, because we do have a Lady Love Yourself page on Facebook as well. So we do have a group of people that we interact with on a regular basis that do come to us in regards to whether it be advice or just to, gain inspiration from the things that we may post to be a part of that. So we definitely try to use that platform when it comes to inspiring and encouraging other women. Now, when it comes to the industry itself, here in Charlotte, within the North Carolina area, I can definitely say it's definitely been a hard route when it comes to uniting with some of the other femcees. Unfortunately, because there's so few of us in the industry, because it is male-dominated, there is a whole lot of cattiness. Everybody wants to be the spotlight. Not too many people want to share. However, I've been able, because I try to live in the love and light, I try to, like I said, seek out those people who are like-minded, that I share those similarities with. So there's been a few females out of the Queen City that I've been able to connect with musically and spiritually as well, to be able to kind of elevate each other and encourage each other, whether it just be sharing each other's music or, events and things that we're doing, because we all need that support. The reality is, the support base is kind of small for a lot of indie female femcees. So, I try to be a part of that group or body of people that doesn't mind encouraging you, doesn't mind liking your music, doesn't mind dancing to it when you're performing. And I found a few others. There's Miss Blige, who's out here in the Queen City, so definitely shout out to her. Got one of the OGs that I definitely have been inspired by, which she's definitely been out for a long time, Miss Beatties Ford. A lot of people know her. She's always encouraged me when I saw her, at different shows and events, always invited me to come to their studio and, be a part of the things they have going on. There's also KDG, Killing the Game, with K Breezy and her team. They definitely have a lot of bonding between them, and are stretching out to connect with other like-minded people these days as well. Posthumously, there was Honey Dip, which a lot of people were familiar with, who passed away a couple of years ago. God bless her soul, and me and her were really close. We never got a chance to actually do music together, ironically. Our bond was a lot more spiritual than anything. So I just try to make sure that I do encourage others, because that cattiness isn't going to help any of us. And the reality is that a lot of big industry people are paying attention to what's going on in North Carolina these days. And the only way that we'll really be able to move forward is if we do it together, because it's so much harder to do it alone. And I think people are starting to get it, because I am starting to see, artists banding together, creating groups where they can share their experiences together, and be able to help promote each other. So, we still got a ways to go, but yeah, we can't feud with each other forever. Eventually we have to realize that, we need to build each other like building blocks, in order to rise a little higher. So I'm definitely hoping that, we'll be able to succeed as a team and as a city, because, we have a lot to offer, here in North Carolina. The FemCs are definitely talented. There's different genres out here, people who have different types of styles. And I'm quite excited to actually see what the future holds, especially now that we're getting a little bit more exposure due to the fact that the baby, has gotten on, and that brought a little bit more exposure to the local talent here in North Carolina.
What is the biggest barrier that you have had to overcome as a female independent artist?
I guess making sure that you're taken seriously. Female rappers, we get a bad rep, of, people thinking that we just low-key kind of like groupies that want to be rappers for some reason. They think you want to tag along with the male group. So gaining your respect as a FemC is definitely one of the biggest trials I've had myself, where people actually take you seriously and actually listen to what you have to say versus just looking at you and assuming what's about to come out your mouth, or assuming what you're about, or thinking you're just another typical female rapper, because a lot of people expect the female rappers to be, Cardi B's and, Nicki Minaj's nowadays, and the reality is a lot of us, at least the majority of the ones that I know, are nothing like them. Majority of us, have some really serious lyrical backgrounds. Not that those artists don't, and not to take anything from them. It's just that they've decided to conform to the standard. But there's a lot of us out here who refuse to conform and actually want to be heard and taken seriously on levels besides our sexuality.
With that being said, how has your older music changed from what you're putting out today?
When I first started out as a solo artist, I can honestly say that I was very self-conscious about what I wrote. I was always kind of worried about what people thought about what I had to say, or how they would take what I was saying, if they would like it, or, so I did a lot more of, I guess you would say, trying to appease people in the beginning, and I did do a lot more of saying what they wanted to hear. So I kind of stuck in the lane that was common for females. You're talking about love and being brokenhearted, or, things like that. Didn't really want to step outside the lines of what was expected of me. But over time, I kind of found myself, and as I took myself more seriously as a solo artist, I was able to actually dig a little deeper, start talking about the things that were really important to me, or things that were actually important to the world that people needed to hear, talk about the things that wasn't being said. So I think that would be the biggest change over time from then and now is my growth would definitely say that I've not only become more confident, but now I'm willing to be myself.
And when you can see yourself evolve into who you are supposed to be, and when you can experience growth, that is a beautiful thing. For an artist to remain stagnant and not be able to see or recognize growth, there's serious problem there, serious problem. Very quickly talk about, because I want to play these back to back, My Party and 187. Talk about those tracks.
My party actually was produced by David Sparks, which is kind of a well-known producer in the North Carolina, Charlotte area. And I did that via Deep South Entertainment, who I was originally with, which is how I met Billy Lee, because we were all kind of on the same team at that time. And, I just wanted to do something fun. I had my son, and, I just wanted to be able to kind of celebrate myself, celebrate life, and my party just felt good. 187, that features Ro Jackson, a Charlotte, North Carolina rapper that a lot of people actually are familiar with as well, and Luckbone, who is definitely well known in the QC right now and doing some big things. And we all kind of just got together. I wanted to be able to do some songs with some of the original artists that I kind of knew from years ago that have already been on the music scene for a while. And Luckbone and Ro Jackson are kind of like OGs right now in the game. So I felt good having them on a track where I could kind of be a little bit more of a roughneck, because we all have that hood side. I grew up on Tuckasegee back in the day, so we definitely all come from our sets of hoods. And that was just more about being able to represent who we are and take a few shots at some of these mumble rappers at the same time.
Uh-oh. I go back to back. I could give you My Party and 187 featuring Ro Jack and Luckbone. This is Lady Keair. If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Endie Fiya with your host, Miss Keair.
Yeah, it's something like you never heard. an iceberg. They looking for me now, I'm hitting like a sniper. They hating on me, so I spin them like a tire. We run in these streets, I run in them hills. We run up a check and I still pay my bill. No time for these monkeys, no time they kill Bill. I grind for my paper, cause I'm just make a meal. Goodness, greatness, I be goddamn. Lady, she done did it, she done dropped the track, man. Lady really feel it, she done took it back, man. Murder on the track, and she had to bring a fam. We getting busy, we getting busy. A woman with a plan, and the world gonna feel me. We getting busy, we getting busy. A woman with a plan, and the world about to feel me.
187, how we kill the track. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. 187, now we kill the tree. We in front of the wave, get out the way or step up. Look, got the mustard and mayo, you could catch up. I can't do nothing but get better. When I'm quiet, you tinsel talk it out, that's Penn and Teller. I ain't no joke, 18th letter, let the rhythm hit them, paid in full. Get the message, money in my hat and it never been tookin'. Money on my hat and I bet it's good looking. You know where we at in the cash if you're booking. Big T on with the raw and we cooking. No roasting on roast. If you bow to me, hope that you know it's a tragedy. O'Shea's Vaseline, told Lady K to seduce the beat. Medusa the instrumental, introduce the beat. I come to get physical, beat down the beat. Tied to the back of the ride, beat down the street. Ha. 187, how we kill the track. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. 187, now we kill the track.
10 toes down, we'll never change. Switch up a who, we Carolina blue. All we do is grind hard and stay true. If you hating that, fuck Jimmy, nigga, fuck you. Still whipping, can't get the time back. If you trap, you said the trap, gon' rewind that, yeah. Lost in the soft player, fall back. 2 stages to play, what you call that? Talking to Keair on a Kia, Sarah riding in a Kia with the Paranera stacking chief. Lunch at Panera bread, buying low. Swerving coast to coast, every time we do the most. Mustard and made, born and raised in red clay. Yeah, I'm soft Southern Mason Dixon with the AK. AK with the demons, Kanye with the chemist. What the fuck you mean? I'm in it to win it, bitch.
187, now we kill the track. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Looking for the MCs, but we missing that. Too much mumble rap, ain't feeling that. Calling all rappers where the lyrics at. 187, now we kill the track.
Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Jerusalem from the Scarfella Music Group, and you on the air with the hottest station, Endie Fiya, with your host, Lil Timmy and the Keair, right here on the station bringing you all the hottest hip hop hits. Endie Fiya, let's get it.
If you're just tuning in, you are live right here on Endie Fiya with Keair and special guest Lady Keair right out of the QC, that's Charlotte, North Carolina, and you just heard My Party, and 187. So I got some new music to add to my playlist, most definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, My Party. I like that. You get ready to go to the club. You getting dressed, even driving to the club. Now, 187, most definitely. That took me back to my bad girl days for real. It kind of reminded me. I don't know, because you follow me on Facebook. So recently I posted some tips, right? Because I got a photo shoot coming up, and I'm trying to choose which lipstick I want to wear. So people were asking me, all right, so what's the deal with the purple, or what's the deal with the red? And I think I was leaning more towards the red, and I would say, like, the red has me more feisty. Like, I just really don't care. That's the bad, the bad girl with the red, and the purple is more I'm more composed with the purple. So I'm thinking I'm gonna mix the two. But yeah, I've never did a red before. But 187 has me thinking, red. That's my bad girl era right there.
Okay.
I'm feeling both of those right there. I'm feeling both of those. Unfortunately, we're down to the last 5 minutes of the show. Like, I want to make my show like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I don't know who's going to be here with me for 2 hours, but, you have some guests where you really want to just continue to pick their brain because of the level, that they're on. And this is one of those times, that I got to bring you back. I'll say once you're on the show, you become a part of the family. You're welcome back, at any time. We do have Mondays, New Music Mondays, so if you got new music that's coming out, make sure that you submit it to my assistant, and we'll get it in rotation on New Music Mondays. I want to say now, while I have the opportunity, thank you, because you could have been anywhere tonight. You did take the time out to be here with us on Endie Fiya. I want to wish you much success throughout the rest of your pregnancy. Lady Keair is about to be a mommy again, so I do want to wish you much success throughout the rest of your pregnancy. Take it easy. I've been reading your posts, so I do know you're going through some things, so make sure, you just take the moments that you need for yourself to make sure that your pregnancy is a successful pregnancy for both you as well as your unborn child. This is the time of the show that we play our game, either or. So as I explained to you before, very simple game. We talked about you as the artist throughout the show. But right now we're going to talk about you as the individual. We're going to give the listening audience a time or a moment with you, just a moment, to briefly learn about what you like as the person, not the artist. All right?
Okay.
Very quick.
All right.
Very quick game. I'm going to give you a choice. It's going to either be this or it's going to be that. All right? Nothing that you got to think in depth on. All right? So here we go. You like singing or you like songwriting?
I like songwriting.
You like basketball or you like football? You like being adventurous or cautious?
Adventurous.
You like McDonald's or Burger King?
Oh, God. Burger King.
You like to show power or empire?
Power.
Do you like money or fame?
Money.
Do you think before you speak or do you speak before you think?
I think before I speak.
There you go. And there we have it, just a little bit about Lady Keair, the person. I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity now to go ahead and get your contact information out for those individuals who may be listening now, who want to collab with you, who want to send you some beats, who want to put you on a tour, whatever it may be, or those who may come back and listen to a playback show, because we are on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Player FM, and something else I forgot. So go ahead. The floor is yours to get your contact information out there.
Okay, yeah, definitely. If you want to reach me, it's Lady Keair, LadyKeair. You can find me at you can definitely inbox me or DM me rather on my page at on Facebook. You can also find me at Lady Keair on Lady Keair 2 on Instagram. Feel free to inbox me or message me there. And my email, LadyKeair, LadyKeair @gmail.com. Feel free to catch up on some of my past music and some new things to come via my SoundCloud. Look up Lady K704, SoundCloud.com.
There you have it. Make sure you're following the show on all social media platforms at Endie Fiya. That's ENDIEFIYA. Make sure you're following me, the Girl in Motion, on all social media platforms. That's GRLNMOTION. Join us right here back Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for New Music Mondays as we close out March for March being New Music Month. Right back here on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Gerard Belcher, artist, producer, DJ. And again on Thursday, what we got? We got a Chippendale. I mean, he's an artist too, but all I know he's Chippendale. That's all I know. He's going to be here with us next Thursday at 7 p.m. So make sure if you do not make them all, that you do not miss them all. One lady with a quote, as usual, melody is and ever will be the very flower of music. That's August W. Ambrose. Until Monday, have a good night.